Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It's that crazy time of year. All the rumors, all the speculation, transfer portal, who's in, who's out. And, I put out the video yesterday talking about Dylan Sampson. And I get it. Some people are going to scream and yell at clouds. They're going to talk about clickbait, this, that, and the other. Is it clickbait when your buddy comes over to your house and says, hey, man, did you see what was on the VolQuest boards? Did you see what was on the Go Balls 247 sports boards? What they said about Dylan Sampson? What was on his Instagram? What do you think that means? Is there much to really talk about here? That's what this channel is all about. We're here to talk about things. We're here to speculate. I think there was some truth to what was put out by Dylan Sampson yesterday. If you missed that video, go back and give it a watch. Did I say that Dylan Sampson was transferring? Nope. Never said that. Didn't say it in the title. Didn't say it in the subject. Didn't say it in the promotional stuff. Didn't say it on the video. So you can think and believe whatever you want to believe out there in the world of Twitter. But us here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, we are here to talk about and speculate when news or anything like that comes out. I'm not here to break news. I'm here to talk about and speculate. That's what this channel is all about. But one of the things is when you start to look at the transfer portal, and I think Josh Heupel's done a great job rebuilding this roster. The mass exodus of players, everybody that left after Jeremy Pruitt was fired, Josh Heupel's kind of being able to go out there, get enough guys in to kind of fill the holes that we needed, and then kind of move forward with this program. But what that's kind of led to is a roster that's got a lot of seniors and a roster that's got a lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen, but not a whole lot of in between. And I think it's crucial before we start diving into the portal is to look at some of these upperclassmen that have a COVID year available, guys that did or did not go through senior day activities, and then we can kind of start to read between the lines. Going to take a look at an article that lays it all out for us and make have some discussion about this. But as always, do me a favor and smash the thumbs up just down below this video. It is quick, free, and easy. It does help the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you here. We're not breaking news here. We're talking Tennessee football for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Schedule kind of changes a little bit in the offseason, but we're still going to be playing NCAA football on Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. We'll talk all things Tennessee football that night. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be doing a recap show. We're going to take one last look at year 3 of the Josh Heupel era. But then we're going to be we'll do transfer portal videos, recruiting live streams, film breakdowns, live film breakdowns. So make sure you guys are dialed in so you don't miss any of that. But let's take a look. Final run through the T. Which Tennessee players went through senior day ceremonies, but more importantly, which did not. This is from Brent Hubbs over at VolQuest. This is not behind a paywall. This is a free article. Anybody can read it. So that's why we're going to share it. Take a look at some of these names. And again, the interesting thing for me is not necessarily who went through senior day. Like Jacob Warren, right? He's a guy that last year went through senior day, didn't know if he was going to continue playing football or not, but he chose to come back to Tennessee for one last ride. And that's what a lot of these guys will have the option to do. They will sit down. They will have conversations. They'll see what the NFL says, where their draft stock's at. And then they'll make a decision whether or not they want to use that COVID year to come back. But what's interesting to me is when we get down to the bottom of this article, which of these guys chose not to go through senior day? Now, does that mean it's locked in stone, that it's set? You can't, they're not going anywhere. No, they can still make that decision to either go off to the NFL or no longer play football, but you're never going to have that opportunity to go through senior day. So it's interesting. It is worth taking a look at. Let's roll down. Let's take a look at the list. Up first, these are the guys that did go through senior day, and the ones I want to look at have this note out beside them. They could possibly return for a COVID year of eligibility. Omari Thomas, Gabe Judy Lolly, Will Albright. You got some other guys here. Quasi Garland, Tyler Barron could come back if he wanted to. Tamarian McDonald, Wesley Walker, Gaston Moore, John Campbell, Omar Norman Lott could return for another year of eligibility. You roll on down, Jabari Small, Brandon Turnage, Warren Burrell, Brew McCoy. So there's a lot of guys here that went through senior day, and some of these guys I think are probably done playing football. I think Tyler Barron is a name here listed. I think he's off to the NFL. I think it speaks volumes for what Rodney Garner's done since he returned to Tennessee. You put BY in the league. Now you're going to put Tyler Barron into the league. We're seeing guys make plays. We need to continue to see guys in the NFL make plays, and that's really how you rebuild this roster. That's how you create some buzz on the recruiting trails. You show these guys that you can develop and you can get them into the NFL. John Campbell Jr., another guy that I would love to see back. Got that COVID year of eligibility. Would love to see that offensive tackle come back and kind of be a foundation on this offensive line. When you look at the roster and you don't include the COVID years, this offensive line was going to be a position group of need where you were going to have to hit the portal. You got a lot of young talent coming in the class of 24. Got some solid interior offensive linemen. You got a pretty solid offensive tackle in Bennett Warren. Oh, and by the way, you're trying to land the number one offensive tackle in the country in Jordan Seaton. But again, this is about filling the void in the middle, right? You got some upperclassmen, you got some young guys, you got helps on the way. You got to continue to recruit, and that's why when Josh Heupel was hired, we said this was going to be a 6-year rebuild, because you have to completely overhaul and rebuild this roster, and that's why it's so depleted in the middle. But if you can get a guy like John Campbell to come back, man, all of a sudden what was a concern, what was a huge position of need would become a strength for this 2024 football team. Omar Norman-Lott also has an extra year of eligibility. Jabari Small, the running back room is going to be interesting, man. I think Jalen Wright is a guy that's off to the NFL, and Jabari Small has that COVID year available. Does he elect to come back? Dylan Sampson. What is Dylan Sampson doing? Is it a power move? Is it an NIL move? Is all the rumors and speculation, is that all about getting that NIL deal? We saw Jalen Wright do it a year ago, right? He tweets out, it's nothing personal, it's just business. A couple of days later, he gets the big NIL deal, comes back to Tennessee, 1,000-yard rushing season. Did Dylan Sampson sit back and say, oh, that's interesting, next year's my turn, so I'm going to go ahead and put the little rumors out, and we're going to get that NIL back? I don't blame him. I think Dylan Sampson is going to be the starting running back next year. Does Jabari Small come back? I've seen some rumors already that he may be done playing football. Brandon Turnage, Warren Burrell both have a year of eligibility. I think those are two guys that are likely done playing football. Warren Burrell found himself further and further and further down the depth chart. I just don't think he comes back, and I could maybe even see Brandon Turnage being in that same situation. He's a guy that showed some promise at times, but never really got over the hump to contribute to this football team. Brew McCoy, that's the big one, right? We're all talking about Brew McCoy. He was pictured there at the top going through senior day. I think it's going to depend on how he bounces back from the injury. Does the NFL have enough on him to take a chance and bring him, put some stock in him? He'll see what his grade comes back at. I would love to have Brew McCoy. I think this wide receiver room would be nasty if you got Brew McCoy back, Dante Thornton back, Squirrel White in the slot. Some of the young guys start to come along. Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod. But again, how do you balance that with the transfer portal? If Nimrod and Caleb Webb, those guys see that Dante Thornton, Brew McCoy, and Squirrel White are all coming back, when do they get theirs? Are they patient? Can they sit and wait till they're a redshirt junior? Or do they look elsewhere? It's a tough balancing act for Josh Heupel, but here's the list that I really want to take a look at. Seniors who did not participate in running through the T a final time, and they also have an extra year of eligibility. This is huge to me because, again, why would you not go through senior day if you were off to the NFL? Why would you not go through senior day if you didn't have plans to come back? To me, that screams, that yells, I'm coming back for one last ride. And we've all had the name circled on the roster for the last few weeks when we're talking about 2024. It starts with Cooper Mays coming back. He did not go through senior day. He's got an extra year of eligibility. And oh, by the way, Javontes Spraggins is also on this list. So when you look at your offensive line for next year, when you look at the guys that are coming back, you're going to have your starting center back. And again, allegedly, none of this is finalized. None of this is set in stone. But you're going to potentially have Cooper Mays back. You're going to potentially have Javontes Spraggins back. You've got Andres Carrick, who still has a year of eligibility. Slide him in there at guard. All of a sudden, your offensive line is starting to look pretty strong. And by the way, you got Dane Davis on there. Now, say what you want about Dane Davis. Is he a starter in the SEC? I don't know that I would say that. But the bottom line is he's a guy that's played a lot of football at Tennessee. He adds that depth that you need as you continue to develop those young guys. So, again, could your offensive line next year be Cooper Mays at center, Andres Carrick and Javontes Spraggins at guard? That's your starting inside offensive line. You slide Gerald Mincey out there at offensive tackle on the right side, and, go ahead and sell Jordan Seaton. Oh, you're the number one offensive tackle in the country? We just happen to have a slot here for you at the left tackle position. Come on down, big fella. We need you on Rocky Top. Another big one for me, Keenan Peely at the linebacker position. It's been one we've speculated on the last few weeks. Why isn't he back? Boogie, where's Keenan Peely? He was supposed to be back in October. We've not seen him. I think this was part of the plan. I think it made more sense for Keenan Peely to get that medical waiver and look to come back for another year of football, which, again, is going to be huge for this football team in 2024. Because you're going to be losing Aaron Beasley, but now you just pencil Keenan Peely in as that leader, as that veteran in the linebacker unit. Oh, by the way, look who got experience this entire year. Arian Carter. Jeremiah Telander showed a lot of promise throughout the year as true freshmen. Elijah Herring got a lot of run as a sophomore, but you throw those guys out there with a veteran, with a leader like Keenan Peely, all of a sudden you feel pretty confident in that linebacker unit. So again, it's interesting. You got a lot of options, a lot of opportunities here. So many guys, when you look at that defensive line, guys like Omari Thomas, Tyler Barron, Omar Norman Lott, Quasi Garland. Do those guys want to come back and play another year of football, or are they looking to go off to the NFL? The secondary for me is also going to be very interesting. Gabe Judy-Lally, Warren Burrell both have a year of eligibility at corner. Also, Brandon Turnage. I think Gabe Judy-Lolly's more than likely coming back. I think he's a guy that has an opportunity to develop and grow and maybe go play football at the next level. Tamarian McDonald, Wesley Walker also have an extra year of eligibility. What does the secondary look like next year? We've got to see that unit grow, get better. Obviously, they were a weakness again this year. You know, that when the defensive line was getting home, the secondary did okay, but they struggled if the front four didn't get home. What does the secondary look like next year? Is Tamarian McDonald a guy that bounces back and plays safety? Or do you go Wesley Walker, Andre Turrentine at safety and put Tamarian McDonald there in the star position? I think Gabe Judy-Lally is going to be your corner. We saw Ricky Gibson, a true freshman, get a lot of run. A lot of names, a lot of information. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. And I encourage you guys to continue to support this channel throughout the offseason by hitting that join button down below. You can become a member by giving $1 a month. That's it. That's all we ask. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, a power T beside your name, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits, but more importantly, you are supporting this channel as we roll throughout the offseason. No more post-game shows, no more football coverage, but we're going to be talking recruiting, transfer portal, all kinds of fun stuff throughout the offseason. We'll also do some basketball watch parties. Going to be doing a watch party on Saturday at 4 o'clock for the SEC Championship game. If you're a member of that tier, you get to come on, hang out, and we'll talk a little football throughout the course of that SEC Championship game. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.